For over 700 years, it's been the ultimate story, right? A treasure of unimaginable value, hidden away by a legendary order of warrior monks right at the moment they were destroyed. This is the story of the Knights Templar and their fabled lost treasure.
You know, the explorer Dr. Albert Lynn said it best. It really is the stuff of childhood dreams. And he's totally right. I mean, think about it. A secret society, a lost treasure, a mystery that has stumped the world for centuries. It's a story you just can't turn away from.
But that brings us to the big question we're tackling in this explainer. After all this time, after literally hundreds of years of searching, what is it that keeps people going? What could possibly be so important that the hunt just never ever stops? Okay, let's dive into this, because you have to understand, this hunt isn't just something you read about in old books. No way! It is happening right now, all over the world, with teams using some seriously high-tech gear. We're talking ground-penetrating radar, 3D imaging, the whole shebang, all to try and crack this centuries-old case. And this search is a truly global thing. You've got the infamous Money Pit on Oak Island in Canada, which is supposedly booby-trapped. You've got these incredible Crusader tunnels they just found in Acre, Israel. And of course, there's the super mysterious Roslin Chapel in Scotland, which is just covered in cryptic symbols. These places, along with spots in Portugal and France, are all active hotspots, each one holding its own little piece of the puzzle.
So what is everyone hoping to find? I mean, what kind of treasure could possibly inspire this level of dedication for so long? Well, this is where the story gets really wild.
See, the legends say we're talking about way more than just a pile of gold and silver. The stories claim the treasure includes some of the most sacred relics in human history, the actual Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, even the Shroud of Turin. These aren't just valuable items. They're objects that people believe hold immense power, and they're at the very heart of what makes the Templar legend so compelling.
But look, to really understand the legend, you first have to understand the history. How on earth could one of the most powerful groups in the entire medieval world just vanish, practically overnight? And how did that sudden collapse create the perfect breeding ground for a mystery like this?
This timeline really shows you just how fast it all went down. So the Templars get started way back in 1119. For almost 200 years, they build this massive financial and military empire. And then, bam! On Friday, October 13th, 1307, the King of France, who owed them a ton of money, by the way, has them all rounded up in a single morning. Just 5 years later, the order is officially wiped off the map. That incredible speed is the key to this whole thing.
And this right here is the absolute critical point. The myth makes you picture, a pirate's treasure chest overflowing with gold. But the reality of their wealth was something much more modern and, frankly, a lot more powerful. Their real fortune wasn't in a vault full of coins. It was in a huge network of land, castles, farms, and financial power. And their biggest innovation? It was genius. They basically invented international banking. A pilgrim could drop off their money in London or Paris, get a coded letter of credit, travel to Jerusalem, and withdraw their cash safely. It was this financial system, not a secret pile of gold, that was the true source of their incredible power.
Okay, so keeping that history in mind, let's go back to those modern treasure hunts. If their real wealth was this complex financial network and not a single hoard of treasure, how does that change the way we should be looking at the clues people are finding today?
Now, what's so fascinating here is when you lay out the clues next to the hard evidence. So on Oak Island, they find a lead cross from the right era, but nothing that screams Templar. At Roslin Chapel, radar finds what might be hidden rooms, but we have no idea what's inside. And in Acre, they actually found the secret tunnels, which is amazing. It proves the Templars had this sophisticated network, but it doesn't prove there was treasure in it.
And that really is the bottom line here. After all this time, with all our incredible technology, we've found some really tantalizing clues. Secret tunnels, strange artifacts, weird radar signatures. But the one thing no one has ever found, not once, is that legendary treasure hoard. It is still completely, and maybe stubbornly, missing. So that brings us right back to our biggest question. If the treasure probably never existed in the way the legends tell it, why on earth can't we, as a culture, stop looking for it? Why does this story still have such a powerful grip on all of us?
Well, the answer really lies in their downfall. When an organization that powerful is just erased so quickly and so brutally, it just doesn't feel like a real ending. It creates this giant hole in the story, an information vacuum. And you know what rushes in to fill a vacuum? Legends, myths, and conspiracy theories.
And you know, as the historian Dan Jones points out here, we have to be super careful not to mix up these amazing legends with actual history. He says the Holy Grail was a literary idea. It was a fantastic story that got attached to the Templars long after they were gone. It wasn't some real cup they actually had hidden away.
So when you put all the pieces together, you can see why the myth is just so irresistible. You have this powerful, secretive group that vanishes almost overnight. Their actual wealth was absorbed and scattered everywhere, not found in one spot. It is the absolute perfect recipe for a legend, one that taps right into our fascination with secrets, with adventure, and with hidden history.
And so that leaves us with this one last fascinating thought. Even if we know deep down that the treasure is probably just a legend, why will we never stop looking for it? Maybe it's because the quest itself is the real point. The dream of discovery, the thrill of the adventure, maybe that's the real treasure we've been searching for all along.